Toilet paper is a product that society depends upon on a daily basis. Despite this heavy reliance, its value is often taken for granted. In Assessment 1, I determined that when faced with an unprecedented crisis, such as the COVID pandemic, people may realize that true value lies not in the products deemed valuable by their rarity. Instead, value is created through our reliance on the functions performed by a product in the mundane moments of our regular lives. For Assessment 2, I have further expanded my definition of social materiality to include responsible and sustainable material use. Currently around the world, face masks are a true representation of social value. They prevent the spread of disease and as a result prevent death. Nothing can be determined as higher value than life itself. However, for the past few weeks, I've been exploring the environmental impacts of disposable PPE, predominantly through a post-consumer life cycle analysis. Through this research, I've been applying my understanding of toilet paper materiality as uncovered in Assessment 1 to present toilet paper as a potential alternative to part of this huge problem. Some estimates suggest that current global face mask usage is reaching 129 billion per month. Even if just 1% of these masks are disposed of incorrectly, that's more than 1 billion masks dispersed across the earth in 4 weeks. The problem here, other than that mind-boggling number, is the fact that the majority of disposable face masks are made from polypropylene materials, or PP for short. It's a type of melt-blown plastic, and it's not designed to break down in nature. In fact, it takes a minimum of 30 years, or up to a few hundred depending on the environment, to decompose. The impacts of this are already being seen across the globe, with PPE waste being collected from ocean floors and washed up on beaches. Conservation groups have sounded the alarm on this burgeoning issue, with some going as far as saying that soon we'll run the risk of having more masks than jellyfish in the ocean. This is on top of the already existing 13 million tonnes of plastic that goes into oceans each year, according to a 2018 estimate by the United Nations. This poses a huge risk to oceans and marine life, as well as the human food chain. So where does toilet paper come into all of this? I've been spending the last few weeks experimenting with the material properties of toilet paper to create a design that incorporates both functional as well as speculative elements that aim to tackle this problem. The most important thing to me throughout this process was ensuring that my final face mask design was completely biodegradable. Toilet paper on its own possesses excellent qualities in this area, but I wanted to make sure that any processes or secondary materials I used didn't impact upon its biodegradability. To assess this, I conducted a number of tests using samples placed into a jar of water, which was shaken vigorously for a short time. The first test I completed used my paper mache samples from Assessment 1. The second test used a sample of 3 layers of toilet paper sewn and quilted together with specialty thread made from PVA, which is completely water soluble. All samples completely broke down in the tests, some requiring a little more shaking than others. Further to Assessment 1, I also did some additional experimentation with paper mache pulp. This allowed me to explore some more sculptural elements within my design. Throughout my design process, I toyed with a range of ideas through sketching and experimentation, but consistently kept coming back to the idea of a layered face mask, which would enable me to highlight the different properties of toilet paper whilst also creating something practical. My final design is a 2-piece mask. The outer layer is made from paper mache pulp with machine-stitched toilet paper ties. The inner layer is a more practical fitted half mask, which resembles standard PPE. The masks are designed to be worn together, with the pattern of the inner mask specifically shaped to flow in line with the outer mask edge. However, they are each able to be worn separately if desired. On the main mask, the upper half of the mask is made from paper mache using the strips method. The nose and eyebrows are made using paper mache pulp, which was freehand molded. The nose is very exaggerated on purpose. It's inspired by a combination of traditional Venetian masks, in addition to the iconic death mask, which was worn by doctors during the Black Plague, and has since become a symbol of medical terror. The lower half is made using the hollow toilet paper straws technique that I developed for Assessment 1. However, this time it's woven to the 3-dimensional shape of the jawline. This was specifically designed to visually reference a fishing net, which is catching the regular face mask underneath, symbolizing the impacts of PPE waste in the ocean. The side ties are made from 3 layers of toilet paper sewn together, which was specially layered and cut to ensure that the perforations did not overlap to create a point of weakness. The outer mask has a somewhat disturbing appearance. This was a purposeful decision made with the intention of creating a sense of unease and wonder within the viewers. It causes them to stop and question what the purpose of the mask is, which then creates an opening for catalyzing change through increased awareness of the issue. For the inner layer, I customized the pattern to ensure that it could be cut within the width of a single toilet paper strip. The center seam is curved to ensure a close fit, and the edge around the jawline is also cut to fit neatly within the outer mask. The ear straps are made using the same technique as the outer mask. The full mask is sewn with water-soluble thread. It's important to note here that my intention with this design is not to create a medical grade substitute for frontline workers or sick individuals. The toilet paper masks present an alternative to the disposable masks being given away in airports, shopping centres, and public spaces. Those given to people who are expected to wear them for a very short period of time before disposing of them. This mask design proposes a future-facing solution to a big societal problem. Through a combination of speculative symbolism and functional material selection, it aims to contribute, even in just a small way, to addressing the environmental issues created by disposable PPE face masks. Thanks for watching.